Hello and welcome to our channel. Are you learning English? Great! Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived two best friends. Their names were Tom and Leo. Tom was tall and quiet. He liked to read books and walk in nature. Leo was short and funny. He loved to talk, laugh, and tell jokes. They had been friends since they were 5 years old. Every day after school, they played together under the big mango tree near the river. Sometimes they played football. Sometimes they told each other stories. They did everything together. One day, Tom brought a small puppy to Leo's house. "Look, Leo, I found him near the market. He was alone and hungry," Tom said. "Aw, he's so cute." Leo smiled. "Can we keep him?" Tom nodded. "Yes, but we must take care of him together. We are a team, right?" Leo laughed. Best friends forever. They named the puppy Lucky. Lucky was brown, with big ears and a happy face. He followed Tom and Leo everywhere. When they played, Lucky ran with them. When they sat by the river, Lucky sat too. He was like a little brother to them. One afternoon, the boys were walking with Lucky through the forest. It was sunny, and the birds were singing. Tom was telling Leo about a book he read. Suddenly, Lucky stopped walking. He growled and looked into the trees. "What's wrong, Lucky?" Leo asked. Tom looked around. Maybe he heard something. Then they heard a sound crack. It came from behind the trees. The boys stopped walking. Lucky barked. A tall man came out of the trees. He wore a black jacket and had a long stick in his hand. His face was serious. "Hello, boys," the man said. "Are you alone?" Tom looked at Leo. Leo held Tom's hand tightly. "Yes, we are just walking our dog," Tom said slowly. The man looked at Lucky. Lucky was barking and standing in front of the boys like a guard. The man smiled a little. "Nice dog, but it's not safe here. Wild animals come here in the evening. You should go home." Tom and Leo nodded. "Okay, thank you, sir," Leo said. As they turned to leave, the man watched them for a moment and then walked away into the forest. After a while, Leo said, "That man was strange." Tom nodded. "Yes, and did you see his stick? It looked like a hunter's stick." Lucky was quiet now, walking between them. The sun was going down, and the forest was getting darker. "We should go home quickly," Tom said. But just as they were walking faster, Lucky suddenly ran into the trees. "Lucky, come back," Leo shouted. Tom ran after the dog. "Lucky, wait." Leo followed. They ran deeper into the forest. The trees were thick, and it was hard to see. They could hear Lucky barking, but they couldn't see him. Then they saw him. Lucky was standing near a hole in the ground. Something was inside the hole. "Tom, what is that?" Leo asked. Tom bent down and looked. "It looks like a big bag." Leo's eyes grew wide. "Should we open it?" Tom didn't answer. He slowly pulled the bag out of the hole. It was heavy. Then he opened it. Inside the bag were many small boxes. And inside the boxes were many small boxes. And inside the boxes were jewels and money. Tom and Leo looked at each other with big eyes. "Is this real?" Leo whispered. Tom touched the jewels. "Yes, I think this is real gold and silver." "Where did it come from?" Leo asked. "I don't know," Tom said, "but someone hid it here. Maybe the man with the stick." Lucky growled again, looking behind them. Suddenly, they heard footsteps slow and heavy. "Hide the bag," Tom whispered quickly. They pushed the bag back into the hole and covered it with leaves. The footsteps came closer. Tom, Leo, and Lucky hid behind a tree. It was the same man. He was walking slowly, looking around. He stopped near the hole. He looked at the ground. Then he looked at the trees. He seemed to be thinking. Leo was shaking. "What if he finds us?" he whispered. Tom put his finger on his lips. "SHHH." The man looked around one last time, then walked deeper into the forest. After a few minutes, Tom said, "We have to tell someone. This is serious." Leo nodded. "But who? And what if the man is dangerous?" Tom thought for a moment. "Let's tell my uncle. He works at the police station." Leo agreed. "Yes, your uncle will know what to do." They took a stick and marked the tree near the hole so they could find it again. Then they ran home with Lucky. At home, Tom told his uncle everything. His uncle listened carefully. "You did the right thing," he said. "Don't go to the forest again. I'll send police officers to check the place." The next day, the police found the bag. It was full of stolen items from a robbery in a nearby town. The man with the stick was caught 2 days later. He had a record of stealing and hiding things in the forest. Tom and Leo became little heroes in the village. Everyone praised them for their courage and smart thinking. But even after all the excitement, life slowly returned to normal. Tom and Leo still played under the mango tree. Lucky still ran with them, happy and free. One afternoon, while they were sitting by the river, Leo said, "We are really best friends forever, right?" Tom smiled. "Yes, even if we find treasure or fight robbers, we are always together." Leo laughed. "Maybe next time, we'll find a map to a secret island." Tom laughed too. "As long as we're together, I'm ready for anything." But they didn't know a new adventure was already waiting for them. That evening, as the sun was going down, Lucky started barking again. This time, he was looking at something in the water. Lucky barked louder. He stood near the edge of the river, his tail stiff, ears up. "What is it now?" Leo asked, walking over. Tom followed. "Is it a fish? Or maybe a snake?" They looked down into the water. At first, they saw nothing. The river was calm, the water clear. But then, they saw something shiny under the surface. "There," Tom pointed. "Did you see that?" Leo leaned closer. "Yes, something is under the water. It looks like a box." Tom grabbed a stick and slowly pushed it into the water. The shiny object moved. "It's a metal box," he said. "But how did it get here?" "Maybe someone threw it into the river," Leo guessed. They looked at each other. After what happened in the forest, this seemed like another mystery. Tom took off his shoes and stepped into the river. "Be careful," Leo said. "I will. The water is shallow here." Tom reached down and pulled the box from the river. It was old and rusty, with a lock on it. Leo's eyes sparkled. "Another treasure." Tom smiled. "Maybe, but we need to open it first." They took the box back to Tom's house. His uncle was not home, so they decided to wait. They tried to open the lock with a spoon, a key from an old drawer, and even a hammer, but nothing worked. "This box is strong," Leo said, wiping his forehead. "What if it has something important inside?" Tom looked at Lucky, who was now sitting and watching them. Lucky always finds interesting things. Just then, Tom's uncle walked in. "What are you two doing now?" he asked, smiling. Tom showed him the box. "We found it in the river, near the big tree." His uncle took the box, looked at it carefully, then said, "This looks military. Or maybe very old. Let me check with someone." He made a call and talked to someone at the police station. An hour later, an officer came to the house. "This box," the officer said, "was lost during a flood 10 years ago. It belongs to a man who used to work in the army." "What's inside?" Leo asked. The officer opened the lock with a special tool. Inside the box were old medals, letters, and black and white photos of a man in uniform. There was also a small notebook with drawings and maps. "This is history," the officer said. "The man who owned this died many years ago, but we can return it to his family." Tom and Leo looked at each other. They weren't disappointed. They were happy. "We helped again," Tom said. "We're like detectives now." Leo laughed. The next day, the man's grandson came to their village. He was a kind man who lived in the city. "Thank you for finding my grandfather's box," he said. "These things are very special to our family." He gave Tom and Leo 2 small gifts, a compass and a magnifying glass. "Maybe these will help you on your next adventure," he said with a smile. Tom and Leo were excited. "Let's become real detectives," Leo shouted. Tom laughed. "Why not? We already have a good nose on our team," he said, pointing at Lucky. The sun was setting again. The boys sat by the river, holding their new tools. Leo said, "What do you think we'll find next?" Tom looked at the sky. "Who knows? But we'll find it together." Just then, they heard a soft sound from the old tree near the river, a sound like someone crying. Tom and Leo looked at each other. "Did you hear that?" Leo asked. "Yes," Tom said, standing up. "It came from the tree." They walked slowly, Lucky beside them, ears alert. As they reached the tree, they saw a little girl sitting on the ground, crying. "Hey, are you okay?" Leo asked gently. The girl looked up. I lost my way. I was playing with my brother, but now I can't find him." Tom knelt beside her. "Don't worry. What's your name?" "Lily," she said, wiping her tears. "Okay, Lily. We'll help you. Do you remember where you live?" She nodded slowly. "Near the school in the yellow house." Tom smiled. "That's not far. Let's take you home." With Lucky leading the way, they walked through the village. Soon, they reached the yellow house. A woman ran out. "Lily," she cried, hugging the little girl. "Thank you, boys. We were so worried." Tom and Leo smiled. "She's safe now." As they walked back, Leo said, "Another good deed." Tom nodded. Another adventure. Even if it was small, it mattered. They sat under the mango tree, the stars above them. Leo looked at Lucky. "You're not just a good dog. You're our partner." Tom laughed. "The best team ever." They stretched their legs, looked at the sky, and smiled. Best friends forever, ready for the next mystery, the next laugh, and the next day. The end. Glowing star.